All right, first off, before I get into anything else, I want to make an apology. Last month, I reviewed Todd by Todd Rundgren, and when I downloaded the album, I grabbed the wrong album and I put the live one on there. So there are no hand clapping sounds throughout the album. I re-listened to it. But other than that, my review still stands. My opinions of the songs and everything, still worth checking out. I'm Jay Andrew World. I'm an artist and a music fan. Toronto is a real interesting place. It's a world-class city that until relatively recently has been rather insular with the music scene, which is why I want to talk about Tory Cassis' 1999 album, Anywhere But Here, which is a phenomenal little album that you definitely missed. After doing a variety of work with bands, as well as doing some television, including Degrassi, Tory Cassis ended up deciding to record his own solo album. He chose to work with the producer Doug Tranto, who's worked with such diverse artists as Herb Alpert, Joe Cocker, Matchbox 20, Cher, Santana, Korn, Nine Inch Nails, Hanson, Orgy, Hootie and the Blowfish, Sugar Ray, and Sublime. This album's like a record with an A-side that's really lush and full of a variety of different sounds like gospel and jazz and funk and soul. It's almost up-tempo. The album is not quite up-tempo because really it's rainy day music. It's a very thoughtful and slow prodding album, and the songs really make you think. They bring you to a certain place emotionally. Every song is about a relationship too, which also makes it very personal at the same time. The A-side is also very sexy. It's something you really want to take and you seduce somebody with because it is lustful. The B-side's a lot softer and acoustic, and there's a sweetness to it, but it's more of a bittersweet to the songs. Tory Cassis told me, like a lot of first recordings, it was written over a number of years, so it contains snapshots of some important moments and reflections and influences that were important to me at the time. I was looking for ways to access different styles and explore each song separately. And thanks to 90s hidden track technology, there's also a great bonus song on it. It's playful and it's a real satisfying ending to this album. One of the things that makes this album really stand out is the way the songs are sung. Tory Cassis is a trumpet player, and there's a lot of rises and falls the way he delivers the lines. So the lines kind of rise up in the middle and come down in a very unique way that you don't typically see in a lot of albums. Tory Cassis also plays a lot of the instruments on it. He plays the acoustic guitar, the dobro, as well as some horns. Highlights include every damn song on this album. One track I really do think stands out though is Leaning on the Stairs. It's a sparse and beautiful song about memories of a relationship and the unresolved issues that come along with that.
It's the strangest little moments you remember, in the face of all the times that you forget. The ones you wish the most were gone are never ever gone for long, and they're certainly not finished with you.
Next track that's great is Sunrise. This is one of the most up-tempo songs on the album. It's funky and has a very reminiscent sound to Stevie Wonder, Songs of the Key of Life era stuff. It's also playful and funky, and you're gonna love it. Lyrically, this song is the album's mission statement. It's kind of talking about like what he wants to do for this entire album. So it's a definite must listen to when you're listening to this album.
This is the end. I'm getting awfully tired of being helplessly tied by ropes and wires. I cannot see, I cannot talk. At every turn in the road I seem to balk. I need to stop, need to rest. A little quiet comfort might be best. That when the pieces finally come, I can meet them here with wonder and surprise. At sunrise, at sunrise.
favorite track off this album has to be the title track, Anywhere But Here. It is a driving song with a funky bass line. It's dark and mysterious without being too heavy. It's a big difference between what Tory Cassis does here versus, say, like Nick Cave's Skeleton Tree, where that feels like a rock placed on you. There's a playfulness to the song where like he'll sing Sing Hallelujah and an organ comes in, or Give Up Sex and the guitar lick sounds like it's laughing at you. And it being the first track on the album, it is a perfect lead-in for the rest of the album.
Start the purging. Give up sex. Say you're sorry. Clear your debts. Cut your losses. Shave your head. Comb the Bible. And stay in bed. To make the break, it must be clean. Not quite as simple as it seems. You want so bad to disappear, to wind up anywhere but here.
This is as close to perfect as albums can get. Tory Cassis actually ended up following up this album in 2006 with his jazz standards album, The Saturday Night Function. Tory Cassis now performs in a jazz trio called the Lesters with Jeff Ulster and Moxie Ferguson, Great Big Sea's bass player, Murray Foster. They have an EP called The Promise that came out last year, and it picks up right where Anywhere But Here leaves off. And Tory Cassis told me that in the next year to year and a half, they're going to be recording a full-length studio album. As of this recording, and I need to let you guys know this, I don't have a Spotify playlist because Anywhere But Here is not available to play in the States. I am working on this. I'm writing everybody I can. So hopefully by the time this episode comes out, I'll have that straightened out and you'll be able to get to hear the album in its entirety. Check out the Chronic Rift Facebook page, where I'll be posting my full interview with Tory Cassis, as well as whatever my solution ends up being for the playlist situation. Next month, I'll be reviewing an album that Tory Cassis has recommended to me. Thank you.